9:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and we have an emergency breaking news alert. We're down 3.73% in the total crypto market cap, down to 1.89 trillion. We talked about when the futures open, we could expect some of these numbers to start breaking. XRP was down to 70 cents. We did break 40,000 very briefly. I wanted to come on now because right now we hit that 39,500 almost. And right now we're trying to reconsolidate here and use that 40,575, and we're going to see what happens here. Because we're trying to retest this 40,575 area. XRP, as you know, it broke down underneath 70 cents. So we can lower this low area now because we did get down to 69,853. This supports exactly what we were talking about. And what's going on is on Wednesday, they're going to talk. The Fed's going to talk. And I guarantee you this is probably going to bring the market way down. And you can see the starting effects of this. So we're entering a challenging market. I have a nice article. I also had, if we can just add to this real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if I can pull up BTC again in the news. I had a nice thing to read to us as well while this is playing out. This is what I was seeing, the death cross. So it's going to be very interesting because when you go through a death cross, I'm going to go through this and I'm going to show you and read you guys exactly what's going on. I try to keep us as up to the minute, up to date as I can. We're going to start that intro, but first I want to talk about a little bit of good news last night. A lot of you guys always ask me about my FanDuel. Well, last night I did a 5-leg parlay. $25 turned into $560.65. I took Seattle Seahawks and these were all as the games were going on. So I made this bet at 4:26 and 4:27 p.m. So just into the first quarter, some maybe starting the second. But that's what I did. $25, nothing major. And then I took out $400 of that winnings, took 160 into roulette with Julie, turned it into almost 300, cashed out another 120, and then proceeded to lose the last 100 on roulette. So $25 turned into about $525 withdrawal. So, yeah, was pretty happy about that. But we've got more important things to cover. I would love to talk about what was going on FanDuel and yada, yada, yada. But first, we got to go through this. Bitcoin falls below 40K as death cross looms in price charts. The past record of the death cross as an indicator of deeper drawdowns is mixed. So, they call it Bitcoin's death cross, a bearish indicator which appears when the 50-day moving average dips below the 200-day moving average. The ominously named chart pattern looks set to be confirmed this week amid mounting concerns of faster liquidity withdrawal by the U.S. Federal Reserve Fed, a bearish development for Bitcoin and asset prices in general. On Monday, the Bitcoin price fell below 40,000 for the first time since September 2021. As of press time, the largest cryptocurrency was changing hands at 39,853 based on CoinDesk pricing, down 12% so far in 2022, one of the Bitcoin's worst years their worst ever starts to a year. The Wall Street firm Goldman Sachs foresees the Fed raising borrowing costs at least 4 times by the end of 2022 versus the previous prediction of 3 rate hikes. Now they're talking about 4 rate hikes, according to Goldman Sachs. The investment banking giant also expects the central bank to downsize the balance sheet from July. Friday's U.S. labor market report, which showed that unemployment rate dropped to 3.9%, has strengthened the case for the Fed to hike rates concurrently with the end of asset purchases in March. According to the CME Group's Fed Watch tool, investors were pricing a 73% probability of a 25 basis point rate hike in March, up from 61% last week. Fears of a hawkish Fed gripped the Bitcoin market towards the end of last quarter after the central bank shifted its focus to inflation control from maximum employment. In December, the Fed announced at least 3 rate hikes by the end of 2022 and an end of the asset purchase program for March. Bitcoin peaked near 69K on November 10th and has declined nearly 40% since. The cryptocurrency slipped over 12% in the last 7 days to January 9th, registering its biggest weekly drop since early December. The impending death cross, coupled with the sourcing macro outlook, may bolster overall bearish sentiment. That said, the technical indicators past record as a predictor of bear markets is mixed. According to the research by Kraken, many of Bitcoin's previous death crosses, including those seen in 14 and 18, coincided with either a sell-off in the days that followed or a continued macro downtrend that confirmed a bear market. However, death cross witnessed in June 2021, March 2020, October 19 were bear traps or false signals that, and we talked about the one in June, that marked major price bottoms. The consolidation seen after the mid-June 2021 death cross resolved in a fresh bull run as seen in the featured image, or did it start a fresh bull trap? A bull run and bull trap is very, very different. And a bull trap, when you hit those all-time highs and get into discovery, you take farther than you started. So moving averages, crossovers are unreliable as standalone indicators, given they are based on backward-looking data and tend to lag prices. The market is often oversold, due for bounce by the time the crossover is confirmed, as was the case in June last year and late March 2020. So that was one I wanted to read. And then let's get into the charts real quick, and then we can talk about these technical indicators. Ripple investors are facing challenges, market conditions as XRP offers consolidation. So let's go to here, and then we're going to have this bounce off. That's why I wanted to come on I couldn't come on right when it was at 39,500. I watched it. I wanted to try to find a spot where we were going to roll up and try to retest old resistance. Like I said yesterday, XRP had one more chance on the weekly to get up to 80 cents last night. When it didn't happen before the flip, we told you that we were going to have a very volatile swing, and you need volatility to have these numbers come down. Now, after we do the intro, we're going to read and we're going to discuss about what's going to happen with the future of these coins right now in the immediate short term. It was vital for us to read that Bitcoin article, vital for us to let this market play out for the first few minutes while we were on, and vital for us to get on the same page. Make sure to hit that like button. I really appreciate each and every one of you. This community is growing extremely fast, and it's an honor and a privilege to lead us in the right direction. Okay, everybody, I appreciate you hitting that like button. So Bitcoin's at 40,856. We're going to let this round around for a second. We'll read this XRP technicals and up to the minute MACD and stuff like that. But as I told you guys yesterday, the day before that, and the day even before that, I thought we were in a bearish continuation pattern. This would continue to the downside. Right now, we have 69,853 low support. We got to move it down from 7077, which is a tremendous sign. Our next drop should be 64.8 and then 57.6 after a slight reversal. Because what I should have done when I first started, when we were starting to flip up, I should have put it into the 5 and let you guys see exactly what was going on. So we broke down, hit this support. Now that we've created at 69.853, now we're trading between here. We're trying to get to here and ultimately to here. We've been talking about this for days and even weeks, especially the last 2 weeks, about this bearish continuation in the pattern. This is nothing more, like I said yesterday. Go back and watch my videos. They were spectacular. It got tight, and I said it was going to be nothing more than continuations. And then I even said you could do a continuation down, bounce, and then stick around here for a minute and then come down. But it's tremendous to see that we hit under 70 cents. We broke that support, that wick of 708, which is what we needed. So now it's confirming even more that we're about to break down even faster and harder. So, but, you know, there's always spots of instability. Yesterday with Bitcoin, I was on here profusely talking so that we could see, and I even brought down 38,056. You know, and we talked about, could it come down there and create an arm, or would it come down to 34,156 and try to bring an arm? But we talked about, would this even look right? And we talked about these points. You're going to have to watch yesterday's video to see exactly what all this means. But we were talking about, does it have to break down to 38,000, then bounce up? Or were we seeing that tip of like an elbow? Is that big enough for a right shoulder? It's very tricky. So all we need to know right now is Bitcoin came down and touched that 39,590 support absolutely beautifully. I'm the best in the business for a reason. I mean, look at that touchdown. That was a targeted zone I've had. We just didn't know if we were going to hit 39,590, if we're going to come down to 38.9 or finish off at 38,056. So far, we hit 38,000 or 39,590, and now we're coming back up to 41,000. Likely, what we did was we tried to retest these lower moving averages, and we tried to get back up to 41,979, but we haven't had the strength because we're starting to reverse back down. The 3-minute is likely what's going to cap any upside here, but we're going to find out very shortly. Let's read this article because we're on the right track. We must stay on the right track. DGB down to 2683. Kenny XLM at 24.5. Stacy Theta at 381. Kenny Algo 134 and IOTA 103. Man. 80 at 112. Run at 43.6. You got XDC at 8.3. Let's see who some of the bigger losers are. C-Web down better than 13%. 8697 to hit our support there, but we feel like it could come down to 779, so we must be very careful there because this looks like it created a prototypical head and shoulders here now. So we could get a little pop up to about 091, but I think this is coming down to 779, Sniper. I don't want to really get off track here. I just wanted to see some of the bigger losers so we could see what we were going to expect later in the day. XCC's down better than 10%. So we've got some extreme levels of volatility here. And this is exactly what we were hoping for on this Monday morning. Make sure to hit that like button. I am so honored that each and every one of you take the time and put the faith into my content like this. I know I'm the best on YouTube. Not because, you know, I'm the most honest, but because I have trusted technical analysis and I know the charts, ladies and gentlemen. If I think we're going down, nobody, and I mean nobody, can take me off my stance because I'm going to make sure that we know what's going on. If not I, then who? Ripple investors are facing challenging market conditions as XRP enters consolidation. XRP price has been massing losses since Christmas, already accounting for 33%. Price action sees a pickup in buying volume as a floor is created around 31 cents. Oh, you heard that right, guys, and that's my weekly, and that's also in the 5-year symmetrical triangle. It goes down to 32 cents, and I showed you guys that area many times. So I'm so proud of them for putting that in here. As bulls start to reclimb from the lows, a squeeze looks to unfold with a possible break of the downturn in the coming days. Ripple XRP has been in a downtrend since Christmas and has investors worried about at the beginning of 2022. The sell-off sparked by worries about rising interest rates in the U.S. has formed a solid downtrend highlighted by the red descending trend line and supported by the cross of the 55-day simple moving average, SMA below the 200-day simple moving average. Bulls could turn the tables in the coming days, however, as they push higher green trend line and press up against the red ascending trend line. A change in market risk sentiment towards risk on could then see a breakout and return towards 78 cents. XRP will start recovery once market sentiment shifts back to risk on. XRP price has been hammered by a broad sell-off that has pushed the stars out of favor of any bullish reaction. The most significant weight comes from the downtrend since Christmas, marked by the red descending trend line. The crossing of the 55-day SMA below the 200-day SMA is called a death cross that will keep big investors out of trade given how bearish it is. A floor appears to be forming, however, as the lows slowly grind higher, forming a floor from January 5th, and brave bulls do have some incentives to now start entering at an extended position. The relative strength index RSI is hovering near the oversold area but starting to flatline, which indicates bulls have a good window of opportunity to enter as more short sellers will refrain from entering the market right now, as any possible profits will be expected to be minimal. Once global markets start to shake off their current turmoil, I expect XRP to quickly see a bullish pickup of buying volume that could help it break above the red ascending trend line and more towards the first target of 78 cents. XRP price is likely to further increase buying volume once it reaches 78 cents and push up to the monthly pivot at 84 cents. So remember the monthly pivot. A further continuation could be on the cards if the market rally and have a few consecutive days of gains. As all this depends on global market sentiment, expect a break of the green ascending trend line to push price further to the downside in search of any support which could not be seen until 62 cents or even 58, with the green longer term supporting level and the $1 monthly support level. So that was some very good information. We see what's happening here, guys. We're going to have to fight this morning. I'm going to update you when appropriate. That's all the information I can give. Right now, we're going to watch to see how low we go. Bitcoin tried to reverse back up to 41.9. Couldn't quite get there. I would say we're probably going to come up to 41.4 because we're using 45.75 as support. And you could see something like this. But I don't think there's going to be very many buyers at all. You see how when we were on the way up, the price action started coming down with volume. Same thing with XRP. We started going up. Volume started coming down when we got to the top. So we're going to see. I think we have one more layer. XRP is probably going to come back up and retest 75 cents as that resistance. You're never going to have a straight drop until you test that old resistance point that was support. Stay blessed, everybody. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag but assassin.